Story 1. Saying no without over-explaining. Once I stopped feeling guilty for protecting my time and energy, everything got lighter. I wish I had learned that boundary setting was not rude way earlier. Story 2. By learning that anxious thoughts do not need to be explored, I used to ruminate and obsess over my worst anxieties and fears. However, all that did was teach my brain that it is a valid fear by constantly worrying about it. Now, when I have an anxious thought, I tell myself that it is just a thought and has no power over me. I am safe. Eventually, the fear, worry, or obsession goes away because I am teaching my brain that it is not really a big deal after all. I just want to say thank you for the awards. I did not expect my comment to gain so much attention, but I am happy my words have been able to help many people. Story 3. Quitting smoking. I smoked for 46 years and quit 13 years ago. There are too many negatives and too many positives to list. Story 4. Eliminated my debts. My disposable income increased dramatically, though it took years of hard work. I will never do that again. Story 5. Remember who you are, what you like, and what you want out of life, without compromising yourself for the sake of others. If relationships are two individual rocks that continuously press against each other and crack, soon enough you won't remember the core of yourself. Slowly, you chip away at yourself to fit into someone else's life or try to fit their image of you until you don't recognize yourself or become a shell of what you once were. That strong individual rock becomes just a shell or a pebble of who you are. Life isn't worth going through such experiences. There are other rocks out there that will fit right next to your rock without those hardships. Remember your core and stay true to yourself. Story 6. Realizing social media is often problematic. I even mean Reddit sometimes. When enough people see a video expressing someone's opinion, everyone ends up following along and disliking whatever is being discussed. Story 7. Getting good with being single. It is a powerful position to be in. Now, the only people in my life are the ones I want in my life, not people I am settling for out of fear of being alone. Story 8. Listening to white noise. It is not talked about often, but listening to white noise helps you sleep better, reduces anxiety, and improves focus. It is like a cheat code for your brain. Story 9. Spending my money on myself instead of trying to maximize investments. I am glad I used to do that, but that phase of my life is over. Story 10. Leaving a dismissive, avoidant partner and working on my own attachment issues. Our best investment is in ourselves. Do not abandon yourself. Story 11. Moving abroad. I used to be quite bitter, but since I moved, I have calmed down. I have money, a good relationship with coworkers, and overall I feel more optimistic. Story 12. Daily exercise. I hated physical education in school growing up, and while I did play a sport, the habit of working out never stuck with me. It wasn't until I was much older that I started working out by choice, which led to eating better, sleeping better, and now I generally feel better than at any other time in my life. Story 13. I quit my customer service job. I worked from home doing it for the last 3.5 years. I lived alone, so most days it seemed like I was never out in the world and was isolating myself. I developed drinking problems that also happened while on the job. One Monday morning, I went on my first break about 2 hours in. As it was coming to an end, I began to feel an overwhelming sense of dread about going back to work. I thought, I shouldn't have to deal with this every day of my life, and almost had a mental break, but I decided I wouldn't deal with it anymore. I went right in, logged out of my computer, and went to the liquor store. I was still sort of panicking, but sober me, drunk me, and hungover me all agreed this was the right move, and it was. I worked a gas station night shift, which was better for me. Then one of my regular customers there helped me get a job where he works about a year ago, and now I am in a career-level job. You just have to take a leap of faith sometimes. My drinking is better now. Story 14. Make a budget, not a spreadsheet that you look at sometimes. Create a real budget and check it at least once per day. Story 15. Getting a dog was difficult for the first 2 months, and I thought I was in over my head. Now, I cannot imagine not having a dog. For the first time in my life, I have to care about something more than just myself, and it has changed my life completely. I was depressed most of my life, and now that I reflect on it, I started being depressed around 13 years old when my childhood dog died. I always thought it was puberty and changes that caused it. Now that I have a dog as an adult, my depression symptoms have gone away. I think I always needed a dog in my life. Story 16. Breathing exercises focusing on deep exhales. In just 10 minutes, my entire outlook on the day shifts. Story 17. 1. Cycling and running. 2. Reducing alcohol consumption to 1 night per week. 3. Going to the gym. 4. Sleeping at a consistent time and waking up naturally. 5. Not drinking coffee after 11 a.m. 6. Eating oatmeal with whey protein in the morning. 7. Hugging my child every time I see her. Reading 2 chapters with my child every night. She reads her book, and I read mine. I am 47 years old. 10 years ago, my body felt like an old jalopy. Now it feels like a Porsche 911. Story 18. Taking Nurtec and Topamax. I went from 15 or more migraines and maybe only 1 okay day per month to 1 minor migraine a month and a couple of days with stiff muscles. I went from feeling like a dying animal in feral self-preservation mode to now living life and appreciating all the things. Playing with my daughter means the whole world and more. Story 19. This is always controversial, but I started Manjaro to help with weight loss. For years, I tried healthy eating and exercise. I tried calorie counting and even a couple of fad diets. I went to dietitians and saw personal trainers. I did everything the doctors recommended. In the end, if I ate more than 800 calories, the weight just packed back on. If I ate less and did not work out, I sustained. If I worked out, I lost weight. I followed a prolonged period of 800 calories and working out for 2 years and lost a lot of weight, but I lost hair and it caused other issues. My doctor recommended I eat at least 1,200 calories a day. Within a year, I had gained all the weight back and more. I tried to do things the right way according to most medical professionals and not rely on a magical fix. Then I saw a doctor who specialized in female medicine and a hormone specialist. Testing was done. It turned out I had a severe hormonal imbalance and metabolic issues. I will likely be on this medication at least on a low dose for the rest of my life. How did it change my life? I eat between 1,200 and 1,400 calories a day and work out as I did before, and I am down 38 kilograms and still going. Everything is just easier. Since losing the weight, my hormonal imbalance has resolved, and my autoimmune issues have been in remission for over a year. My self-confidence and beliefs about self-efficacy have soared, especially since I now know that I was not failing and that there was a reason my best was not good enough. Do not let anyone tell you that you are cheating if you get help losing weight. You are still addressing a health issue that is likely having a continuing effect and causing other problems. If you are not already eating well and working out, you are still putting in the hard work and building new habits. Story 20. Starting stimulant medication was not just for work productivity. It provided immediate relief from feeling overstimulated and overwhelmed all the time. My brain and body are much quieter, and I am able to be in the present moment without my thoughts jumping all over the place. Story 21. I used to have terrible back pain every morning in my 20s. I had a twin spring mattress at the time. I bought a queen memory foam mattress and no longer wake up with back pain. Story 22. Antidepressants. Accepting my brain chemistry is disrupted, and I cannot will away the depression with positive thoughts and meditation. I still feel sad and overwhelmed some days, but it is nowhere near the debilitating, cannot get out of bed feelings I had before. Story 23. Quitting smoking marijuana. Over 3 weeks clean now. I know it does not seem that impressive, but I am determined to stay off it. Story 24. Divorce. Do not put up with toxicity. It is interesting how people change over the decades. Do what you can to make it work, but you deserve to be happy. Story 25. Understanding that no matter what I did, I would never please my father. I now live life for myself. I have built boundaries and do what I want. Those boundaries actually improved our relationship because he knows I will go no contact without hesitation if he messes up again. I am asexual and do not want children. He wanted me married so he could have grandchildren, but that was not a pleasant situation. Story 26. Trusting myself. Not acting as if I need to provide evidence and receipts for peer approval when making decisions, especially when dealing with abuse and toxic behaviors. Story 27. Accepting my situation or whatever challenge may be in front of me and just going with the flow. Not caring. Putting myself first. Story 28. Losing 120 pounds. I can walk upstairs. I can run a 5-kilometer race confidently and feel comfortable signing up for races on a whim. I have a 5-kilometer race next week and I'm not worried. I can ride my bike without getting winded. I can buy straight-sized clothes. I still have some weight to lose, but I am wearing a size medium shirt. I can buy clothes almost anywhere without checking the largest available size. Also, people are much nicer now. I may have lost some faith in humanity, but at least I have a jawline now. Story 29. Consistently walking more than 10,000 steps every day. Unlike going to the gym, I actually enjoy it, which makes it a sustainable activity for me. The physical and mental health benefits cannot be overstated. Story 30. I used to be super judgmental. Whenever I feel that itch to get bothered over something someone else is doing, I ask myself 2 questions. 1. Is anyone being harmed or setting up for harm, like drunk driving or a prankster setting a booby trap? Is anyone involved being forced to participate against their will? If the answers are no, I just move on and let other people do their thing. It sounds overly simple, but if you are like me and were raised in an incredibly judgmental atmosphere, it is life-changing. Story 31. Meditation and daily exercise. As an adult, I did not do either one with any regularity until my 50s. Both have had a profound impact on my emotional and physical well-being and have solved problems I struggled with my entire adult life. Story 32. Going outside for some cardiovascular exercise every day is possible. Anxiety has lessened, mood has improved, and even the body stiffness that I thought was just me getting older has reduced. I go even when I don't feel like it, just because I know how much better I feel afterward. Story 33. Becoming sober from my substances of predilection. I would be 10 years ahead socially and professionally today if I had fought harder against this terrible compulsion. Story 34. Leaving teaching. Classroom complexity and excessive government overreach were taking away too much of what I wanted to give to my family. It was not right that my partner and children made sacrifices for some of these kids whose parents, who were usually able, could not be bothered to even consider. Story 35. Let them do what they do. Do not worry about why me or what you did wrong. People who treat others badly treat everyone they know that way. You will be much happier if you focus on analyzing your own life. Story 36. 2 tennis balls. I just roll my back and butt over 2 tennis balls when my lower back hurts from sitting too long. It is very effective. Story 37. Think of my own actions instead of hers when she left me. I can control myself, not her. Once I understand this, I can move on. Story 38. Quit smoking. After almost half a century, I decided on my 60th birthday to give myself a real present. Almost 2 years later, it remains the second best decision I ever made. The first was marrying her. Story 39. Have a dog, provide bereavement support for others, and be in a stable relationship with an amazing partner. Story 40. Hey original poster. Quitting alcohol. I am 49 and quit 18 months ago after 30 years of trying to drink myself happy. Sobriety delivers what alcohol promises. Story 41. Adopting a mostly whole food vegan diet has significantly improved my health, especially my skin, digestion, and energy levels. Story 42. Buying a dishwasher. I used to always dread doing the dishes or feel anxious because I was avoiding doing the dishes or not cooking to avoid creating dishes. I am now free from dealing with washing dishes. Story 43. Stopping drinking is one of the best decisions I ever made. Alcohol is absolutely no good for you. It interferes with your development, disrupts your hormones, and damages your brain and body. Not drinking allows your body and mind to perform at their best or as close as possible in all aspects. Story 44. Finding the same routine to follow every morning. Make coffee, walk the dog to the lake, and play Wordle and the mini crossword on New York Times games. Story 45. Joining a 12-step program called Adult Children of Alcoholics started me on the journey of mental health that I am still working on today. Story 46. 1. Quitting alcohol. 2. Being honest. 3. Attending eating disorder treatment. 4. Exercising 5 to 6 days a week. 5. Taking a quiet walk every day. The first 20 years of my life were spent developing coping mechanisms and addictions, and the next 20 years were focused on recovering and returning to my natural state and self-worth. I wish I could have expedited that process a bit. Story 47. Buying quality instead of choosing the cheapest option is important. Although this approach may not work for everyone, if you spend $100 on shoes that last a few years instead of $20 on a pair that falls apart in a few months, you save money in the long run. Story 48. Going to the gym. As a 29-year-old white male, I have recently been dealing with anger issues. I never really had this problem before, but my stress and anxiety about recent world events have turned this nervous mixture of emotion into anger. It was becoming a problem. Then I started lifting heavy weights. Feels great. I am more fit, more confident, less angry, and more level-headed now. I highly recommend it. Story 49. 1. Prioritizing my sleep. I try to get 8 hours of sleep every night. I am happier, more energetic, and more productive during my waking hours. Sacrificing sleep was only affecting my mood and productivity. Whatever I can't get done, I don't get done, except in situations where this doesn't apply. Overall, I get more done being awake for 16 hours while feeling refreshed, compared to being awake for 18 or more hours and feeling groggy. 2. Cutting down on fast food, deep-fried food, sugar, and junk food. I still indulge, but in moderation. I have more energy and my mood is better. I don't follow any crazy diets, just try to eat whole foods instead of fast food. 3. Starting the day with a healthy breakfast. I feel good throughout the day. 4. Cutting down alcohol consumption. 5. Deleting most social media. I no longer waste my life scrolling and comparing myself to others. I struggled with depression and anxiety. These changes really helped. Story 50. Not caring about what family thinks, demands, or expects of me. Live your own life. Do not live it the way others say you should. Story 51. Switching to reading 15 to 20 minutes before bed instead of scrolling. I sleep faster, deeper, and wake up clearer. Game changer. Story 52. Correcting my tongue tie affects your posture, muscle tension, even eating and breathing. Honestly, I did not know any different until I had that sucker cut. Now I have so little tension in my upper back and shoulders and neck that I have only been to the chiropractor once since then. It is strange how such a tiny thing can affect you in so many ways. Story 53. I scrolled for a while looking for this, but I had a tonsillectomy as an adult at 26 years old. It was hard to find a surgeon to agree to do it, and that, combined with people online saying it was the worst recovery they had ever experienced, scared me very much. However, it was absolutely worth it, and I would have the surgery again annually if necessary. The recovery was easy compared to the pain and discomfort my tonsils were causing me. Story 54. Sleeping with my continuous positive airway pressure machine. I finally got a sleep study 1 year ago after dealing with chronic fatigue my entire life. Turns out I have severe sleep apnea. The continuous positive airway pressure machine has genuinely been life-changing. Story 55. Resign from my high school administrator position. After 15 years, I regret not listening to my body clearly signaling that I was tired and depleted. Story 56. Medically stopping my period was necessary because it caused severe pain and anxiety, worsening in both pain and duration as I aged. In the last year before stopping, I bled for 2.5 weeks every 5 weeks, and nothing over the counter relieved the severe pain. Working from home during the pandemic improved my daily life slightly, but deciding to stop my period was life-changing. I could finally exercise, go camping and backpacking, and travel without worrying about managing near-constant pain and discomfort. Story 57. Continuous positive airway pressure machine. I used to be tired all the time no matter how much I slept and would wake up very dizzy. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.